I have lost $30,000 today trading Forex. But I don't consider myself having lost it. I consider it stolen from me. And here's why. It's because here, I shared this in my free Telegram channel yesterday. There's a link in the description. It's a free Telegram channel. I just share all my trades there. I've been doing it for 8 years. So I shared a trade here yesterday or a couple days ago, and yesterday it was in $30,000 of profit. And then I was wondering whether or not this thing was going to come back to the upside. So lo and behold, price does in fact, it had dropped. It had a nice run into profit. And then we started pushing back up here towards this resistance zone. So this is on the 1 hour chart. The reason for the trade was very, very simple. If you're new to my channel, my name is Nick Sean. I've been trading Forex, crypto, and stocks for a decade, made millions of dollars in all markets combined. And I have the free Telegram channel where I just share all my trades live. So one of these trades that I shared was GBP NZD. And the way that I trade is I just buy at support and I sell at resistance on the higher time frames. This is a daily chart. If you can go down here, GBP NZD, 1 day. It's a daily time frame. When price gets into major resistance zones, I sell. When it gets into major support zones, I buy. It is very, very simple. This is all I have done for years. It works incredibly well. I've tested various risk structures. I've tested various nuanced ways of doing it and managing risk. The best way I've found is buying at support, selling at resistance with a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, closing a trade a little early if it moves towards the stop. So I take a smaller loss when I'm wrong, and then holding the trades to the take profit if I'm right. So I take a bigger win whenever I'm right. It's very, very simple. This one, however, part of my trading approach dictates that if price does not start moving into profit relatively quickly and it just starts going sideways like it did here, I generally get out of the trade. So an interesting part about this is my first entry. I'll actually show you my exact entries for this. This is what they looked like. So my first entry was up here and it was for 36 lots. That went into profit. And then I added my second entry down here at 30 lots as it started to go into profit with the target down here. This ended up being about $70,000 of risk to make a potential $70,000 of profit. It would have been a nice trade had it worked, but not every trade works. And so in this case, it came back up to the zone. I decided it would be a better idea to close, so I ended up closing right here in a small profit. Basically break even. I risked 70K on this, so a 3K profit is basically break even. So I closed that there. That was all fine and dandy, but it didn't work out. And so that is why I feel as though I got $30,000 stolen from me because this trade was working out so good, and now it's not. It is what it is. I'm not going to be able to afford to take my wife on vacation this summer. I hope you are happy in GBP NZD because my wife is now unhappy with me. She's having to go and invite her boyfriend over who trades Forex way better than me, and I'm having to sleep on my couch with my videographer. I don't even get to sleep on my couch. My videographer sleeps on the couch. My wife's boyfriend sleeps in the bed with her. I have to sleep on the floor next to my dog. But at least her snoring keeps me asleep at night. So, it's not really that bad. Hopefully I'll win the next trades. I can get my life back. But until then, GBP NZD looks like she's just going sideways back up here into the zone. I'm out. Now, in my Telegram channel this morning, I shared a couple more trades. I'm going to show you them right now. USD Japanese yen. When price gets up here into the resistance zone, I'm going to be looking to sell. Why? Because that's what I do. I sell at resistance. I buy at support. Everything okay? Scrolling Instagram on the iPad. Find anything fun on there? Hopefully it's not in my profile on Instagram, Nick Sean FX. So I'm selling USD JPY here at the resistance zone. If it gets up there, it's just above 1.59, in between 1.59 and then the round number, which is 1.59.5 or 159.5. So right here, that's where my alert is. I'll be selling there with the stop above and a target below. I'll be sharing this trade live in my Telegram channel whenever I take it. So if you're not in my free Telegram channel where it takes 5 seconds to join, link in the description. I'll probably put it in the pinned comment too. That's the daily chart. I share the analysis here. I said we're just waiting. We're waiting for the entry. I don't FOMO in. One cool thing about USD JPY is that when she originally got here close to the zone and started to bounce away on this big daily candle, I did not enter. I did not take the trade. I did not FOMO in. I waited for a good entry. And because of that, instead of having an entry down here and watching this trade go into drawdown, right, because this was where it first hit the bottom of the zone, then it spiked away down there really quickly. I could have entered there as this candle was going down, but I didn't. I said we were going to wait. And I shared that further up in my free Telegram channel. You can go up and you can see all that for yourself. But instead we waited, and because we've waited, we are now in a situation where we have the chance for price to come back up here into this zone and then set up really nicely. You'll see this was the original one on March 10th. Currently it's March 11th, so this was yesterday. I shared for UJ, I said I'm waiting for it to pop up here is at 157.76. And then now this morning, lo and behold, she's at 158.7, so like 100 pips higher. Hopefully she sets up and goes into the resistance zone. It will be a lovely sell. I'm really looking forward to take that trade. That way I can sleep in my own bed again with my own wife. It would be super, it would be super nice. Okay, so the next one, Euro GBP. I'm still waiting for price to drop into this zone to buy. I put she's looking phantasmically delicious. Why did I make up a word? That's the interesting part. I made up the word because of how beautiful this trade is. I don't even have words that beautiful for my wife sitting next to me. Don't tell her that. But I have a beautiful word for Euro GBP because Euro GBP looks super, super nice and clean and clear. Why? Because when we go to the daily chart, we see that price has bounced here once, twice, thrice, fours, fives, and then now 6. I feel like I'm counting in German. I don't even speak German. But she's bounced about 5 or 6 times here. This would be the 6th time if she comes down here into 0.862 or a little bit lower. You can see where my alert is. I'll be looking to buy there. The stop will go below the zone, probably around 0.858, maybe a little bit lower, and the target will go to 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. On this one, I'll be risking about $50,000 if I take that trade. So stay tuned if you're in the Telegram channel. The free Telegram channel. The free, beautiful Telegram channel with 56,590 members is the time I'm recording this video. Now, the last one right here is Euro AUD. I put she's looking delicious, similar to EG, similar to Euro GBP. I'm just waiting on price to drop into the support. Then I will likely be buying. Why does this look like a good trade to me? It's very, very, simply put, it's just very sexy. It's phantasmically delicious. Maybe not quite as delicious as Euro GBP, but Euro AUD does look pretty good. So why she's here at this support zone? It's just above 1.6, or I guess you might as well call it 1.6. Prices bounce here 3 times really strongly in the past. If we get all the way in here and then price gets there and then she starts to bounce, like on the 1 hour chart, we get like a bullish candle or two starting to bounce away from the zone. That'll show that there's enough buyers there at that support zone. There's enough people buying. There's enough shorts liquidating. There's enough bullish pressure to send price up into a little high. All we have to do is get a tiny move off this zone. We don't have to be a hero. We don't have to, fuse all of our pyrotechnics together to try to convince ourselves it's going to bounce. We don't have to play mental gymnastics and walk across mental tightropes to try to figure out if it's going to bounce. We buy there at the zone. We put a stop below, put a target above at 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. That's all the analysis I have for you today. If you liked this video, that's cool. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It really helps my channel. And if you have any questions or you want to share your input, or if you just want to say thanks, just leave it in the comments below. I read all the comments. Me and my team try to respond to some of them within the first 24 hours if you ask a question we think might be useful for us to answer. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers, my friends. I love you all so much. Goodbye. Mwah.